Welcome to Magic Tale World, where every story comes alive with wonder. Let's open the book and begin our adventure together.
Have you ever wished that one of your toys could magically come to life? Imagine if your favorite teddy bear could suddenly talk and walk. Well, that's exactly what happened to a kind old man named Geppetto. Geppetto was a woodcarver, and he was very lonely. One day, he decided to carve a puppet out of a special piece of wood. He gave the puppet a cute little nose, bright eyes, and a cheerful smile. He named him Pinocchio. As he finished, Geppetto wished with all his heart, "Oh, I wish this little puppet could be a real boy." That very night, a beautiful blue fairy with sparkling wings flew into Geppetto's workshop. Seeing how kind and lonely Geppetto was, she decided to grant his wish. She tapped Pinocchio with her magic wand and whispered, "Little puppet made of pine, wake. The gift of life is thine." Suddenly, Pinocchio blinked his wooden eyes and sat up. He could walk. He could talk. He was almost a real boy. The blue fairy told him, "Pinocchio, if you want to become a real boy of flesh and blood, you must prove yourself to be brave, truthful, and unselfish." She also introduced him to a wise little cricket named Jiminy Cricket, who was to be his conscience and guide him on his journey. The next morning, Geppetto was overjoyed to find his little puppet alive. He hugged Pinocchio tightly and decided to send him to school just like a real boy. He even sold his only coat to buy Pinocchio a book. Full of excitement, Pinocchio set off for school. But on his way, he met two tricky characters: a cunning fox named Honest John and his silent cat companion, Gideon. They saw Pinocchio with his shiny new book and convinced him that school was boring. They told him about a much more exciting life on the stage in a fantastic puppet show run by the great Stromboli. Pinocchio, forgetting his promise to the Blue Fairy and his duty to Geppetto, sold his schoolbook and joined the show. He was a huge success. He danced and sang, and everyone clapped. Stromboli was thrilled, but he wasn't a kind man. After the show, he locked Pinocchio in a cage, planning to make him perform forever. Pinocchio was terrified. He cried for help, and the Blue Fairy appeared. She asked him why he didn't go to school. Pinocchio, too scared to tell the truth, made up a story about big monsters who stole his books. And as he told this lie, something strange happened. His nose started to grow longer and longer, with little leaves and a bird's nest sprouting on it. The Blue Fairy explained, "A lie keeps growing and growing until it's as plain as the nose on your face." Ashamed, Pinocchio told the truth. The fairy, seeing his regret, shrank his nose back to normal and freed him from the cage, reminding him that this was his last chance. Determined to do better, Pinocchio headed home. But on his way, Honest John and Gideon found him again. This time, they told him about a wonderful place called Pleasure Island, a land where boys could do whatever they wanted, with no school and no rules. It sounded like so much fun. Pinocchio, along with another boy named Lampwick, went to Pleasure Island. It was amazing at first. They played pool, broke things, and ate candy all day. But soon a terrible curse fell upon the island. All the naughty boys who shirked their responsibilities began to turn into donkeys. Pinocchio was horrified to see Lampwick transform, and then he felt his own ears grow long and a tail sprout from his back. With Jiminy Cricket's help, he managed to escape just in time, but he was still stuck with his donkey ears and tail. When Pinocchio finally made it back to Geppetto's workshop, it was empty. The blue fairy appeared and told him that Geppetto, worried sick, had gone out to sea to search for him and had been swallowed by a monstrous whale named Monstro. Pinocchio knew he had to save his father. This was his chance to be brave and unselfish. He tied a rock to his donkey tail and jumped into the deep, dark ocean. He swam and swam until he, too, was swallowed by the giant whale. Inside the belly of the beast, he found Geppetto, alive and well, on his little raft. They were so happy to see each other. But how could they escape? Pinocchio had a clever idea. He decided to build a big fire. The smoke would make Monstro sneeze. They gathered wood from wrecked ships inside the whale's stomach and started a fire. The smoke tickled Monstro's nose, and with a gigantic, earth-shaking Ochu, the whale sneezed them out into the ocean. The escape was rough. Monstro was furious and chased them through the waves. Pinocchio worked hard to push their raft toward safety, but a huge wave crashed over them, separating him from Geppetto. Pinocchio, exhausted, used his last bit of strength to push his father to shore before sinking beneath the waves. Geppetto woke up on the beach, heartbroken to find Pinocchio's lifeless wooden body washed up beside him. He carried the little puppet home and laid him on his bed, crying over the loss of his brave little boy. But because Pinocchio had acted bravely, truthfully, and unselfishly, he had finally proven himself worthy. As Geppetto mourned, the blue fairy's magic filled the room. A gentle light surrounded Pinocchio. He began to change. His wooden limbs turned to flesh. His painted eyes became real, and he sat up, no longer a puppet, but a real boy. Geppetto couldn't believe his eyes. They hugged and danced with joy, along with Jiminy Cricket, who received a solid gold badge from the Blue Fairy for being such a good conscience. And so, Pinocchio, Geppetto, and Jiminy Cricket lived happily ever after, a real family at last. Thanks for watching our story today. Don't forget to subscribe for more amazing fairy tales. See you next time.
Thank you for watching Magic Tale World. If you enjoyed the story, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more magical adventures tomorrow. See you next time!